Good morning, I'm Lois. Here are your headlines this Monday morning. And as you've been hearing this morning, councils across the East Midlands are among the worst in the country for repairing potholes. That's according to a new government rating system. The future of a community hub in Peterborough, which has been used as a Hindu centre of worship for 40 years, could be decided later. Nottinghamshire County Council is set to introduce plans to help raise nearly £400,000. Construction has begun on a new bridge which will eventually span the Erewash Canal. Over £2,500 has been raised by a group of people who dressed up wearing decorated bras and pants to walk through Bradgate Park in Leicestershire. Well done to all those taking part. OK, let's take a look at what the weather has in store for us now with the details. Here's James Wright. Thank you, James. That is it from us this morning. I'll hand you back now to Susanna and Ed in London. Have a lovely day, whatever you're up to. Bye-bye. Good morning, I'm Lois. Here are your headlines in the East Midlands. Nottingham's Accident and Emergency Department faced more than double the number of patients that it can deal with in the first week of January. Elsewhere, the efforts of staff at hospitals in Derby have been praised as exceptional despite strain from sickness and budget issues. Planned upgrades to Derby's A50 junction could end up doubling in cost, surpassing a total of £78 million. Debt has fallen by more than £500 million at Nottingham City Council. And Derbyshire County Council says it will use an additional £155,000 this winter to help tackle fuel poverty, reduce homelessness and support communities facing rising living costs. OK, well, let's take a look at the weather forecast now with the details. Here's Des. Thanks, Des. And that's it from us this morning. I'll hand you back now to Susanna and Ed in London. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Good morning, I'm Lois. Here are your headlines in the East Midlands. Nottingham Healthcare NHS Trust has again been rated as requires improvement following an inspection in September. Their Quality Commission inspectors said the trust had failed to make specific improvements they were told to after the last inspection. In response, the trust said it's committed to providing high-quality care to those who need it and said the report does acknowledge some positive developments. In other news this morning, council tenants in Leicester could face the maximum allowed rent increase from April, despite the plans not gaining much support during a recent consultation. Artificial intelligence has been used to fill 100 vacant jobs at Derby City Council, saving the authority at least £12 million. Dozens of e-scooters and e-bikes have been seized in Nottingham City Centre amid a council crackdown on their use in public spaces. And the last letter written by Mary Queen of Scots before her execution in Northamptonshire in 1587 is going on display later this month. She was... OK, time now for the weather forecast. Here's Des. Yes, do wrap up warm today. That's it from us. I'll hand you back now to Susanna and Ed. Bye-bye. Good morning, I'm Lois. Here are your headlines in the East Midlands. More roads in Derbyshire will be resurfaced after local councillors put forward The misuse of concessionary tram passes in Nottinghamshire is costing the network operator an estimated £300,000 per year. People in Leicestershire are being invited to have their say on plans to create more accessible and inclusive nursery places across the county for children with special educational needs and disabilities. East Midlands Ambulance Trust is set to spend more than £36 million on new vehicles to improve its ageing fleet. And local growers, producers and independent food traders will be setting up stalls in the newly refurbished... OK, well, it's time now for a look at the weather forecast with all the details. Here's Des. Thank you, Des. And that's it from us this morning. There is, of course, more on our website. That's itv.com/central. I'll hand you back now to Kate and Richard. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Good morning, I'm Lois. Here are your headlines in the East Midlands this Friday morning. As you've been hearing throughout the morning, the family of one of the Nottingham attacks victims say they welcome new proposals that would take away thousands of pounds of benefits from criminals detained in hospitals under court orders. The leader of Derby City Council has apologised for the authorities' failures in dealing with Storm Goretti. A lay-by in Northamptonshire has been fitted with gates to try and stop fly tipping. The site. Food banks across Derbyshire are set to benefit from a new £100,000 fund. The County Council. All right, time for a look at the weather forecast now. Here's Des. And that is it from us this morning. I'll hand you back now to Ranveer and Kate in London. Bye-bye.